Okay, so to continue our coverage over the Dawn of X era of X-Men comics, we actually pick up with Marauders number 8. Now, this book is very important for a lot of things, but the main thing it's important for is that the Marauders find out that Kitty Pryde is dead, because that is huge. Because remember, Kitty Pryde died at the end of Marauders number 6, but in Marauders number 7, everyone was looking for her, but nobody could find her. Well, Bishop was the closest to find her. And so we pick up with Emma Frost and her brother Christian Frost giving a bunch of kids a tour of a site they have on Mars. Yes, the mutant race had apparently built a building on Mars where they are growing a certain kind of flowers, which of course will be turned into medicines to give out to different countries that had accepted Charles Xavier's deal. Now, with all that being said though, that is the moment you have Bishop contact Emma Frost, because Bishop was the closest person to finding out what happened to Kitty Pryde. And matter of fact, he snuck on a ship that apparently could have some connections to what happened to Kitty Pryde. And so while he's on the ship looking around and pretending to be a soldier, he does contact Emma Frost. And when he contacts Emma Frost, he asks her to use her powers to kind of look through his eyes so she can see what he is seeing right now. And of course, it is the dead body of Kitty Pryde right now just floating in the middle of the ocean. And so Emma Frost just dropped, because this is huge. Because remember, Kitty Pryde, for some strange reason, could not go to COPPA normally. What I mean is that she could not use the gates that the mutant race had built across the world, where it gives mutants the ability to teleport almost anywhere in the world. For some reason, Kitty Pryde could not use those gates. She had to use a boat and basically sail her way to the island. And so everyone was worried that if she dies, could they bring her back to life? If COPPA would not accept her and let her use the gates, can the Five actually bring her back to life? That was the big question, because remember, the Five are a group of mutants that have the ability to bring almost any mutant back to life, but Kitty Pryde is a special case, and that is why the mutants kind of have been hovering over her to make sure that nothing bad happens to her. Now, like I said, Emma Frost did call in the Marauders, and the first person to appear is Iceman. Now, that is huge, because Iceman is an Omega level mutant. He may joke around every once in a while, but when he's serious, when he's angry, oh, get out of his way. And this is Emma Frost telling him, hey, Kitty Pryde is dead. And Iceman is like, ooh. He's angry. He's angry because, like I said, the Marauders were worried that if the Five could possibly bring Kitty Pryde back to life because all the difficulty she had to getting to COPPA. But getting back over to Bishop, we do see Bishop being able to retrieve the body of Kitty Pryde. Now, he is trying to get away. He wants to get Kitty Pryde's body away from these guys and back to COPPA, hoping they can learn what happened to her, but to see if they can bring her back to life with the Five. The problem is though, well, some random soldiers who are on the boat see that Bishop is on the boat with his mask off now, and so they know that he is a mutant, and so they try to call it in. And so Bishop now needs backup. And this is why I said earlier, we're about to see Iceman just wreak havoc, because he is angry. He is mad about what happened to Kitty Pryde. And that is the moment you have Iceman be Bishop's backup. And let me tell you something, guys. Iceman, the reason why he is an Omega level mutant is because the moisture in the air. There's moisture all around us. And with that moisture, he can just freeze it. And so he can freeze almost anything around him. And so with that being said, he's just going around and beating down on these soldiers left and right, left and right. Now, Bishop has to stop Iceman, because remember, one of the laws on COPPA is do not kill no humans. you may not kill any humans at all. That is one of their biggest laws right there. But with that law follows wherever they go. And so Bishop has to remind Iceman, hey, we have a law to follow. We cannot kill these humans at all. Meaning that stop what you're doing. Now, Iceman's kind of like, it's not fair because Kitty Pryde is dead and they probably had a hand in her death. But either way, though, it's not fair. So you have Iceman just leave these soldiers with frostbites at very, very bad places. And so they will have constant pain for a very, very long time. But you didn't have Iceman and Bishop teleport away with the body of Kitty Pryde to take her back to Emma Frost. But then this leads into one of the saddest moments in the book, because there is one person who kind of was Kitty Pryde's adoptive mother to some people, or Kitty Pryde's big sister to some people in Marvel Comics. And that person is Storm, because as soon as Bishop and Iceman arrive back with the body of Kitty Pryde, you have Emma Frost say, leave. I must tell Storm. And the reason why I said earlier that to some fans out there, Storm is kind of like a big sister to Kitty Pryde, or maybe like adoptive mother to Kitty Pryde, because back in the early days of Chris Claremont's run, Chris Claremont really painted Storm like a mother figure to Kitty Pryde when she first joined the X-Men. Because remember, Kitty Pryde was like 15 years old, maybe 13 years old when she first joined the X-Men. And so most of the X-Men were all in their 20s or late 20s. And so with Storm being in her 20s, she was kind of like an adoptive mother to Kitty Pryde in some cases, and sometimes like a big sister. And so this is Emma Frost telling her, Kitty Pryde died. Kitty died. She died by herself. We have no idea who killed her. We are going to figure this out. Now, this is very important because Storm is angry. Because just like Iceman, she was worried for Kitty Pryde, because Kitty Pryde could not access the island like most mutants can. She had to go the long way around. And so now the big question is, can the Five even bring her back to life? That is the scary thought. Can the Five even bring her back to life if COPPA couldn't even let her have access to his gates all over the world? Now, we do pick up with Sebastian Shaw, and we know that Sebastian Shaw had a hand in the death of Kitty Pryde. Now, with that being said, we do know that Sebastian Shaw used his son Shinobi Shaw to help him out to get rid of Kitty Pryde. And the reason why Shinobi Shaw is helping his father out is because it is Sebastian Shaw trying to move Shinobi Shaw into the Red King position. What I mean is, when it comes to the Hellfire Club has three leaders: Emma Frost, Sebastian Shaw, and Kitty Pryde. Emma Frost, White Queen; Sebastian Shaw, the Black King; Kitty Pryde, the Red Queen. But with Kitty Pryde's death, is Sebastian hoping to push Shinobi Shaw in the Red King position to have 2 against 1 when it comes to Emma Frost, to hopefully push Emma Frost out of her position so they can have complete control of the Hellfire Club. Now, with all that being said, we did see Shinobi Shaw bring in 2 people to be Black Knights. Now remember, the Knights are the protectors of their leaders. So you have White Knights, you have Black Knights, and you have Red Knights. Now, the White Knight in our last video was Callisto, but now you have Black Knights, and it's going to be the Fenris twins. Now, the Fenris twins, and I really hope I pronounced their name correctly, are literally mutants who can only use their powers when they're touching one another, but they can send out a very powerful blast. That is really it. Now, these twins are actually racist as well, so kind of a bad image for Sebastian Shaw. But then to wrap up this book, we do get reminded that Loki, the pet dragon to Kitty Pryde, is still alive and being taken care of by a couple right now in Manipur. And so hopefully the Marauders can go over there and save the pet dragon because, hey, it's Kitty Pryde's pet dragon. Also, because I'm pretty sure Lockheed misses his owner. But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video. Later, guys.